Sometimes the biggest ideas come from the simplest moments, like a casual chat in the garden. That's exactly what we're digging into today. A conversation that completely flips the script on how we think about the ground beneath our feet and, believe it or not, the food that ends up on our dinner table.
So, our story kicks off with a pretty common scene in a garden and a reaction that I think a lot of us can probably relate to. So that's Poonam, and her first reaction to seeing an earthworm is, well, you heard it. Ew. And come on, let's be real, a lot of us have been there, right? It's that gut reaction to something slimy and wiggly that we just don't really get.
But right here is where things get interesting. Her dad challenges that immediate ew factor with a fantastic question. Is that worm really ugly? Or could it actually be one of the most important creatures in the entire ecosystem?
And he explains it beautifully. The earthworm isn't ugly at all. It's perfectly designed for what it does. It's basically nature's own little architect, a recycling genius, built specifically to break down dead stuff and turn it into the rich, living soil that everything else depends on. Now, this whole idea brings up a very modern way of thinking. I mean, if you get your food from a nice, clean supermarket, does any of this soil stuff even matter? And that's exactly what Poonam says. This is pretty much the voice of our modern world, isn't it? She's basically saying, hey, the soil's irrelevant. I get my food from a store. And you can see her point. Why worry about dirt when everything comes so neatly packaged? But her dad comes back with this, just a killer question. He uses the very supermarket she's talking about to flip her argument on its head. He connects that price tag you see on the shelf right back to that little worm in the dirt. So why do we shell out more cash for organic food?
So what's the deal with that higher price tag? The answer really gets to the heart of what we're actually paying for.
Okay, this is what it's all about. That extra cost isn't just random. We're paying for a whole different process. It means no harsh chemical pesticides. Using natural methods, it often means more time. And the big one, the most important part, it all starts with healthier, more fertile soil.
And look at that, we're right back where we started, with our wiggly little friend. The secret sauce, the engine behind that fertile soil that makes organic farming possible, is a whole bustling ecosystem of earthworms and tiny microorganisms. They're the ones doing all the heavy lifting.
So, this whole conversation really boils down to a fundamental choice we have in farming. Two totally different ways of looking at how we grow the food we eat. Okay, this right here, this slide just nails the difference. It's so clear. On one side, you've got the organic way, which is all about being a partner with nature, right? Working with the system that's already there. And on the other side, you've got the chemical approach. It's a man-made shortcut. And while it can get results, it essentially tries to replace that natural system. You can see the long-term difference. One builds up this rich, living soil, while the other, well, it can completely drain the life out of it. Now, her father makes a really fair point here. He's not saying chemicals are evil. They have a purpose. But the key is understanding their limits and the long-term cost of relying on them too much, especially what they can do to the health of the soil itself.
And this is the moment where it all just clicks. The entire idea becomes crystal clear for Poonam, all because of a really simple and powerful analogy.
And there it is, the light bulb moment. Poonam makes this amazing connection. She realizes that taking care of the soil is a lot like taking care of our own bodies. It's all about building a solid, natural foundation instead of just depending on quick fixes. This just illustrates the whole point perfectly, doesn't it? I mean, for our bodies, supplements can be useful, sure, but they are no replacement for the real foundation of good health: sunshine, good food, a healthy lifestyle. And it's the exact same idea for the soil. Chemicals might give it an artificial boost, but they can't ever replace the value of a truly fertile, living soil that's powered by nature's own little architects.
And that kind of leaves us with a really simple, but pretty massive question, doesn't it? Nature already has its own team of architects, These little earthworms and microorganisms, they're the ones building our entire food system from the ground up. So the choice is really ours. Do we work with them, or do we try to kick them out and do their job for them? Definitely something to chew on.